All right, one of the most annoying things about DoorDash are their stacked orders. And then they decided to do triples and now quadruples, which isn't new. It's new-ish. But there's a twist which happened to me last night, which makes it new that every driver needs to know. And let's get right into it. Okay, so last night, doing my regular nighttime shift, and an order came through, and at first I looked at it and I'm like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? It's not that it happens very often. I can't tell you how long they've been in existence. Some markets may have never seen them before, but quadruple orders do exist. Now, I don't know whether it was super busy and they were trying to figure out how to get all these orders delivered and they were just stacking on top of stacking. I don't know what DoorDash's mentality is, but here's the order. Now, it's very interesting because I've said this before on this channel and I'll say it again. 35 seconds when you are shown 4 pickups and 4 drop-offs is a lot of information to digest and to make a decision in 35 seconds. In my opinion, it's not enough. And if you remember, or if you've been on DoorDash long enough, probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we used to have 70 seconds for stacked orders. So at least it was a little bit more time. Now, not so much. And then especially if you're getting these orders and you're driving, there's no way you can make a really good informed decision in the time that's allotted. Anyway, so here's the order. So $30.77 going 11.9 miles. When you're just looking at dollar amount and mile ratio, that's actually pretty decent, right? That's the first thing as a dasher you should look at. But then the other information really came into play. So it was 3 pickups and then 4 drop-offs. Okay, so the first one was for 2 or 3 items, not that much, right? The second one was a retail pickup for 2 items. And then the second one was 1 store and it was 2 shops for 10 items. All low item count stuff. So you're thinking, okay, once again, you have 35 seconds to decide this. How long is it going to take me to do all this? To go to 3 different stores? I have to know, this is the thing with these types of orders, is you really have to know your market to really understand the logistics of all of this, because it's not like all 3 of these places in my market were in the same complex. They were literally, I was probably a mile away from the first pickup. And then it was a mile down the road to do the second pickup. And then it was probably 2 or 3 miles away to do the next pickup and then do the deliveries. See how complicated this could be? Granted, this case, it was all shopping and retail pickup, so I didn't have to worry about restaurants being delayed. But if you get a quadruple like this, you will have to figure that in when you're looking at the restaurants and seeing, is this worth it? Because one restaurant could put a monkey wrench in your whole entire quadruple order. That's why we'll talk about the risk in doing these in just a little bit. So here is the twist that really made this different. Now, I did a video on stacked orders a couple weeks ago about a new way DoorDash was doing it. It was no longer doing 2 pickups and 2 drop-offs in my market. They started introducing, you do 1 pickup and then you drop off an order and then you do the second pickup and then you drop off the order. And that was all food delivery. Now, I haven't gotten that yet on shopping. Well, surprise, it was last night on this order. So obviously I took it. I'm a platinum dasher. I'm not giving up $30. Regardless, I was thinking item counts, how long is it going to take me? And I'm thinking, if I can be quick about it, it can take me an hour, hour and a half max, and then I'll have $30. If I knew it was going to take 2 or more hours, I wouldn't have done this order because then it wouldn't be worth the time, right? If it took 2 hours, then it was only $15 an hour, and then why do it at that point? But I know these stores, I know how they operate. I can be in and out, and I thought it would be good for me. So I took it. So the first one was 3 items, 2 items, 3 items, whatever. In, out, quick. So the interesting thing is, and this is another thing you have to be careful of, because they wanted me, according to the screen, to drive past the second store to deliver the first one and then go to the second store to do the pickup. I'm like, that didn't seem right. So I refreshed my screen, like I closed out DoorDash and I opened it back up, and it refreshed to do the second pickup. So just be careful. When in doubt, always refresh your DoorDash screen if you feel like it's not right, because sometimes it really isn't. So thank God I did that. So then I did the second pickup, and now this is the twist. DoorDash wanted me to deliver the first 2 deliveries of the night before I proceeded to do the third shop. Hopefully you guys are following this, because I know it can be complicated. So I got the 2 delivered. The second one, the customer, this is where it becomes complicated. The second one, the customer put in the wrong address and they wanted to change it to a different location. It was, they put a 2 in the number instead of 3. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was on the same street, whatever. Got it done. So now I have to go to the third location, shop for 2 of the orders, which I did. Easy. But the third or fourth customer, I forget which one it was, decided to keep adding on items to their order. Well, thanks. So my 10-item shop became like a 15-item shop. Okay, well, it just means more money for me. Big deal. And finally, I then go to deliver the last 2. So it was weird the way that this was broken up. It was literally broken up between shop, deliver, shop, deliver. And the old way DoorDash would operate is you would do all of your pickups and then all of your drop-offs. This time it was shopping, which to me, it made it a little bit more complicated and a little bit more time consuming. So here is what the screen looked like. It all looked the same, but here is the breakdown so you can actually see it. It was just a very strange order that I've never seen before. I've seen quadruples, but the thing is with quadruples, I've never seen them all together on one offer screen. I've gotten 2 orders and then an add-on and then an add-on, which made it a quadruple. I've never actually had it on one offer screen before, which was new to me as well. So let me know, have you done an order like this before? First of all, have you done a quadruple? Second of all, have you done it that DoorDash has broken them up so sporadically that they made you do different shops and then delivers at different times? So what do you think about this? Well, what do I think about this? I think that a lot can go wrong, which makes them risky. When you're doing that many orders at the same time, one thing can throw the whole order out of whack. For restaurants who just do restaurant pickups, 1 or 2 delays at a restaurant can throw your whole order off. They can be risky because a lot can go wrong if you're shopping. You know, you can mix up some of the orders very easily, which you have to keep them separated, make sure they're in different parts of your car so they don't get mixed up. If you don't know your area, it could mean longer time that it would take you to get the order done. So that's another thing. Like, you have to really know your market. You have to know your restaurants. You have to know your stores in order to make a really good informed decision in 35 seconds. Is 35 seconds really enough time to digest all of that information. For me, it wasn't. And I'm a pretty darn experienced dasher at this point. So, would you have taken this order? What do you think? Would you have gotten frustrated over it? I didn't get frustrated over it because here's the thing, it took me an hour and 15 to complete because once I got going, it was like store, store, deliver, deliver, store, and then deliver, deliver. So once I got into the groove of it, the thing is, like, you can't even like be lazy on these because if you don't do them quickly, then you're losing out on money, which then doesn't make them profitable, and then you end up losing money in the long run, which every dasher should know so you can make a really good decision when this is presented in front of you. I felt like you guys needed to know this. So if it does come to your phone, you're not shocked and you're like, what the heck is this? And you're prepared for when it actually does. So that is the new quadruple stacked order that DoorDash is trying to push on dashers. Like I said, I don't know whether it's because it was so busy last night and they didn't have enough dashers. So, hey, let's throw 4 at one dasher and kind of see what happens. You got me. Who knows what DoorDash is thinking when they send out orders, or what the algorithm is thinking, or how they even operate. But that was my order. I said earlier in this video, I talked about a new way DoorDash is doing stacked orders. And maybe it's come to your market, maybe it hasn't. Well, you're going to want to check this one out next, and I'll see you over there.